What's up, y'all, and welcome back to the Palace Pistons report. And after that big game one win, we're gonna take a look at that and preview game two. But before we do any of that, please hit that like button and comment your favorite Dennis Jenkins highlight from last night. But fellas, go ahead, please tell me what are y'all's thoughts on game one.
I'll start off, fellas. I think it was a good start for game one, man. They came out aggressive. They played good most of the game. They kept the lead most of the game. I got a little worried at the end of the game when the game got tied up 93-93. But the Pistons persevered through and got the dub yesterday. So to me, I was impressed by getting this game one started by a win. So I'm impressed.
First game one win in a since '08.
Yep.
First game one win since '08. Get the momentum going. Keep the momentum. Didn't disappoint the home crowd this time. Just like you said, when it got tied up. But see, this is why I said when everybody was talking about Cade, the player of the game and stuff. This is why I say I don't give it to Cade because these are expected moments. And he came in and did another expected moment. He came and quieted his team down, and they got Durham three straight dunks.
Yeah.
That's the sign of your leader. That's the sign of the MVP. That's what MVPs do. They make others around them better, and that's exactly what he did in that three possession stretch.
No, I agree. I agree. This was the first. I forget exactly. It was a stat out there. They said it was they broke a 16 game losing streak, or was it 12 or 16 games, something like that losing streak
16 game losing
to
streak.
the Cavs in the playoffs. So
Yes, sir.
a great way to start this series off.
Definitely.
It
Also,
started back when LeBron did that 23 straight points against
Oh
the
yeah, that's
it
right.
started back then.
but more so to what you were just talking about, Dave, like and John, but you know how they allowed the Cavs to, I think what was the biggest lead? I think 17 for the Pistons at one point, and
Yep.
they brought it all the way back and tied it up. But I think they showed that they could win a game after giving up the lead because I feel like they struggled with that over the last few years, like just giving up leads and learning how to win them games. So I think that was the biggest sign for me.
This is showing that they're learning the lessons because if you remember last season when they lost a lead, especially against New York, they kind of wilted. This time they follow their leader, three straight dunks. So yeah, you're right, T. It's just the growth. It's just the growth that they've shown.
I'm gonna say this, fellas, to finish off on this. I love the way it was balanced yesterday. Everybody scored in double figures in the starting lineup. Even the bench played well yesterday. So everybody got involved. Cade had to do so much, scoring like 30 plus. He scored 23, and they still won the game pretty, soundly. So it was good. It was a balanced performance last night. And guess what? We saw a balanced performance by Duncan Robinson. He had his best
Mhm.
game of the playoffs so far by getting 19. So I was impressed of seeing that.
That dynamic backcourt.
That's right.
So, John, I like what you did there. So let's go ahead and take a look at that box score. So, like you said, Cade Cunningham led the way with 23 points. Dennis Jenkins poured in 12 points and 7 rebounds off the bench. That's what everybody was talking about. But Jalen Duran had another double double, 11 points and 12 boards, 7 offensive rebounds. Tobias Harris with another 20-point playoff game. Great showing in Duncan Robinson with his, I believe, his best game of these playoffs. Right, 19 points,
Hmm.
5 for 8 from three. He lightened it up a little bit. And Quincy's homie Ron Holland actually got a little bit of tick. They showed me that he played 10 minutes. He played a good 10 minutes, I believe. He was +7
Yeah.
in those 10 minutes. And Isaiah Stewart tipped in six in 13 minutes. So go ahead and look at that Cavs box score for the Cavs. Let's see here. Donovan Mitchell led the way with 23 points. James Harden tipped in 22. He had a bunch of turnovers as well. Let's see how many of them did he have here. What they got? He had 7 turnovers.
Seven of them.
Um, Evan Mobley had a pretty decent game. Well, maybe not. He had 14 points and 5 boards. The big talk of the I guess of the first game was Jared Allen only had 2 points and 3 boards. He wasn't in very much foul trouble. He finished the game with 4 fouls, and at least from what this showed me, he was a +4. So I don't know. I feel like they're definitely not going to. They're definitely going to try to get him involved more going further on in the series. But unsung hero for the Cavs off the bench was Max Strus with
Yeah.
19. I want to say this: I really don't like Max Strus, but but let's take a look at these team stats. The Cavs shot a tick better than the Pistons at 45%. The Pistons return the favor, shot a tick better than the Cavs from three at 38%. The Cavs are 94% from the line. The Pistons out rebound them 44 to 41. Excuse me, 45 to 41. They were tied with 23 assists apiece. Pistons had 12 steals to the Cavs 7. Cavs had 20 big turnovers, and the Pistons had 31 points off those turnovers. What a stat. Both teams were tied with 44 points in the paint. Pistons had 15 fast break points, and I was wrong. Well, just a little bit wrong. I mentioned the Pistons' largest lead was their actual largest lead was 18. So, like I had mentioned previously, I was trying to wait until the whole gang was back together to let y'all pick new players. So we still may do that, but if y'all would like, since Dennis has reappeared and is showing his behind, go ahead, Dave. Tell us about Dennis Jenkins in Game One.
He did what he was supposed to do. Again, what he's done all season. He's been that spark off the bench. Um, four four steals in the game. Who coming off the bench getting four
Mm,
steals in the game? Um, he just was that spark plug, and he talked his talk, but he walked his walk as well. So shout outs to Dennis for back to back games of proving who he is.
All right, fellas. I had Isaiah Stewart. He had a solid game. I mean, he was -7 with his plus and minus, but he ended up scoring 6 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, couple turnovers. But overall, he had a solid game off the bench. I mean, the bench played pretty solid. But Stu things, man. You want him to come in and defend and protect the rim, man. That's what he does. So sometimes he's not gonna have the best box score with his points and stuff like that, but you expect him to rim protect, set some good picks, get the shooters open, and do his dirty work. That's all we want from Stu. So solid performance from
a little bit more on Dennis Jenkins and Big Beef Stew.
him.
So, do you guys have a player of the game, a collective player of the game, or do you have different player of the game?
I must what you got, Will. I'm gonna say Tobias Harris again, man. Steady Tobias Harris. I'm gonna say that for me.
I'm gonna give him a shout out, but actually I'm gonna say Jalen Duran
Okay. Okay.
because look what he did, man. I mean, we've been knocking him for his numbers. He still ain't put up a 20 point playoff game, but bruh, he just like you said with Stu, he got an impact. It ain't gonna always show in the box score, but he had that impact. Um, he got Larry, I mean Allen in the foul trouble early.
True.
He stepped out, got that 15-foot jump shot working a little bit. I just got to give him his kudos, man. I mean, he ain't put up a 20 pointer yet, but damn, 12 big rebounds, two blocks, a crucial blocking on
Yes,
James Harden.
he did.
So, just give him hey, he got to be the player of the game for me because, again, just like Dallas Jenkins, he had back to back impactful, meaningful games in the playoffs. When everybody was dunking on him, including myself, because he wasn't doing what he did in the regular season. But look what he's doing right now. He's giving an impact in the most meaningful time of the season.
I
I
like it. I
agree.
like.
I
Go
like that.
ahead. Go ahead.
I like that too, D. Well, that's a good point. I love what seeing from Jalen Duran on the defensive side. Defensively, he was in that paint, protecting the rim, made some crucial blocks in key moments. So no, I kind of agree. Jalen Duran really impacted the game yesterday for this team. So I just like Tobias just because of the steady performance. He every game in the playoffs he scored almost 20 points a game. That's impressive for him right now. We've never seen Tobias play this good in the playoffs. So I was going to give him a shout out for keeping us steady and scoring for us, man.
Man, we need him to keep that up. But also on Jalen Duran, a sign of that, like you said, he didn't have great big numbers, but he played a real good game. He played 35 minutes in that game. He also chipped in 4 assists, which is really good for a guy like him. This was game one with the Pistons with a 111-101 victory. So let's take a preview look at game two. like I mentioned before, Jared Allen had that kind of game. The Cavs turned over 20 times, and the Pistons scored 31 points off them turnovers. So we'll start this one out. Go ahead, John. Will the Cavs look like that in game two? And if not, what would it take to win, or what will it take for them to win?
I think the Cavs gonna still be the Cavs. I think they're gonna play a little better than they did game one. But as long as the Pistons keep their defensive intensity going like they've been doing, we should knock them in game two also. But I expect a better performance from Donovan Mitchell and maybe Harden not turning the ball over as much. But I like what the Pistons are doing early. They're attacking them, getting to the rim. The Cavs not as physical as Orlando, so the Pistons should be able to get to the paint and score pretty easy, honestly, man. I think we'd be fine in game two. I think the Pistons take game two and knock them in game two, honestly. I think what takes us to win is playing good defense, causing turnovers, and hitting our shots, making shots, man. Making shots, and we should be good to go.
Well, I concur with you. I believe that they will win game two, as I predicted last session we were on here. Every home team is going to win their game. So it's going to be a 7 round knockout type, who hits who hardest or whatever. At the end, that's why you win 60 games in the regular season, so you can have the game sevens in your house to get that momentum from the crowd. I think that the Cavs, one, like you said, they'll eliminate some of those turnovers. James Harden, he pretty much gave some clipboard material. Said the Pistons didn't do anything, and all his turnovers was his fault. They didn't do anything to make him turn the ball over. I beg to differ. There's a big clip that all the national TV shows that are talking about sports show, and that's K locking his behind up at half court and stealing the
Mm-hmm.
ball. So how did they not do something to make you turn the ball over? But I digress because James Harden's a prolific scorer in the league. He's proven that he can score. Donovan Mitchell proves he can score. The one thing that I wanted to bring up, and then I'll chill out. But I remember I told everybody when the Pistons win against Cleveland this season, Tyson, Jalen Tyson, was 12 points and below. He
Mm.
had no points yesterday. He didn't score yesterday. So look for that to be a factor in game two. Definitely try to get him going. Keep Jared Allen out of foul trouble. Um, and they hope that they get a repeat performance from Struess.
Yeah.
And I know T don't like Struess, but Cleveland is going to hope that they get the same or something similar from Struess. And then, like I said, but I think it'll be a close one again, game two.
I know he's not that person at all, but for some reason, he just and this is a name for you. He reminded me of Tom Gugliotta, and I hated Tom Gugliotta.
Damn,
And
Oh
it
my
was just like,
God.
that's total disrespect. 'Cause Tom
Right.
Gugliotta was ass.
I hated Tom. I
Yeah.
just how he look out there. I ain't saying he play like him. He just how he look out there running around with his hair and the thing. Like sometimes like Christian Laettner too. Like remember when Christian Laettner
Oh
was in the
Yeah,
yeah.
league?
Christian Lake. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know exactly. 'Cause Christian Lake used to get under everybody's
Yeah.
he
skin.
just
Even when he was a
he just run
Piston,
Boy.
around.
I still didn't like him. I still
Nah.
didn't like him, even when he was a Piston.
Same.
It's just the aesthetic. It's just the aesthetic. But D Will,
Yes,
give
sir.
give us some offensive keys to victory for the Pistons.
Again, ball movement, like I said last time, ball movement, hitting the open shots, and keeping up the energy.
John, go ahead. Give us some defensive keys to the victories. Give us some defensive keys to victory for the Pistons in Game Two.
Um, Basically, key calls and turnovers, man. Key calls and being hounding the defenders, hounding Harden and Donovan Mitchell when they dribble the rock up the floor. This causing turnovers, causing havoc in the paint, blocking shots, protecting the rim, and I would say stopping 3-point shots. Honestly, stopping so much Strus and those kind of guys getting hot from the 3-point line. You slow down a 3-point shot, you can beat Cleveland pretty soundly. So, I don't think they defend that 3-point shot very well, and hound those defenders, they should be fine.
I think
Thank you.
defensively, the Pistons' size kind of showed itself too.
It
Like you
did.
saw K guarding up on James Harden and what's the name at certain times, but mostly on Harden. But that both of those guys is tiny bots, and well they think they call James Harden a big guard, but he don't play like it. But um, you
Hey, I
got
got a
something else?
couple questions.
Go
Can
ahead.
I ask a couple questions? So, did y'all notice the philosophy of the defense from Detroit in Game One? There was something very, very peculiar about the defense. If you notice, when Harden and Spider, regardless if they came from the wing or the top, the Pistons built a wall in the middle. If you notice that, it was almost like they did a 1-3-1 defense
Mm,
out of a man. I asked y'all to go back and look at the tape. That's how they got those tips and things like that off passes. They were trying to get Cleveland was trying to get 2 feet in and kick out. Detroit built that wall. They get those hands and then they were out and going. Another thing is, did you not notice uh how it was kind of like a chip on Cade's shoulder when he played defense? When they isolated, it was kind of like a chip on his shoulder because they didn't think he played. I guess that he doesn't get enough credit or he doesn't get enough mention of his defense. Did you notice those two things on the
mm.
defensive end? Go back and look. That's why all the networks are playing that one clip of Cade locking up Harden and getting that steal. Because a lot of people don't give Cade his due on the defensive end. Cade is not a pushover on defense.
That's true. I'm gonna give Wilson a shout out too defensively, man. I was a little worried about this matchup, Evan Mobley and Tobias Harris. I thought Mobley would give Tobias a little more problems. So shout out to Tobias actually holding in on 14 points yesterday. That was impressive from Tobias. I was a little worried about that size matchup against Evan Mobley. So kudos to Tobias on that.
I don't. I say this. I don't know if I noticed that. That's a good observation,
Yeah,
Dave,
yeah.
about how they building the wall and whatnot. But one thing I share with like how you said about K, I'm not a professional basketball player at all. Not nothing in. If you ever see me play basketball, nothing about anything that I've done on a basketball court will ever remind you of anything that Kay Cunningham has done outside of probably outside of wear shoes, socks, and shorts. But I too don't like to be picked on. So if they you try to isolate me, you try to single me out, I would just foul you. But I understand. Is all I would say to K. I get that. So don't let them try and pick on you, dog. Is all I say. All right, we'll go ahead and take a quick look at these betting situation. I got a couple of them on there this time. Up top, we got the Pistons. I believe that is again right at a 3.5 point favorite. They
Okay.
got it's even money on the over under and it's plus money on the Cavs money line. I put a couple more. I could put a couple player joints on here, and this is points and rebounds. I believe it is points, rebounds, and assists. And that's the over under. You got Jalen Duren at 29, Cade Cunningham at 30.3. You got Duncan Robinson at 14.8, Tobias Harris at 19.6, and Asura Thompson at 15.8. So, guys, you got $15. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say 15. I don't know why I said 15 actually, but I meant to say $5 for two bets. I don't know why 15 came out, but you got $5 for these two bets. Are you taking it, and what are you taking?
I say I'll take the Pistons to cover the spread, the 3.5. As long as they win the game, they should cover that 3.5 point spread. Player props are kind of tricky for me, man. I think K usually cover his spreads for the most part on player props. Jalen Duren is very tricky because he ain't been scoring a lot of points, so you might want to take the under with him sometime, depending. But Asar usually pretty good with his numbers. He don't score a lot of points either, but he does get rebounds and assists. Duncan's a crapshoot because he can. Duncan can be very cold. He can be very hot. So if he cold, you definitely go with the under with him. But he's a tricky one with prop bets. Uh,
And
but I
also,
think
I want to go ahead. My bad.
not just say I take the under with some of those players, but the one I'm confident on is the Pistons. As long as they win, they cover that spread.
And also, I want to add a correction because I was reading what I read earlier. Those numbers were their averages. So it's actually 26 and a half over under for Jalen Duren, 33 and a half over under for Cade Cunningham, 14 and a half over under for Duncan Robinson, 24 and a half over under for Tobias Harris, and 16 and a half for Asor Thompson. I like that. Actually, if I had $5 for both of those, I'd probably take the Pistons to cover. And I put five. I put a five on that whole little joint there on all of them to do that. What you think, Dave? If I know you're not a bet, you got any opinions on
I,
it?
I'm gonna take 5 for the Pistons to cover, and I'm gonna take 5 for Cade to do over 30, and I'm gonna tell you why. This is game two. He coasted on game
Mm.
one. He's gonna have to put that cape on because we're not gonna see we somebody gonna push the limit, and he's gonna have to hit that 30-point mark for them to get that. I mean, they're gonna get the dub, but he's gonna have to put that 30-point mark up for them to get that dub tomorrow.
Facts.
Word. So Dave, go ahead. Right back. We're gonna go ahead and close it out with our game and score predictions. You just said it. They're gonna get the dub. Tell me what the score is gonna be.
115, 108 Pistons.
Mine's very close. I got 112, 105 Pistons.
Where it looks like we're everybody's predicting another Pistons victory. I'm just willing to. I'm waiting to see what the Cavs is going to do because they. I don't think they're going to play like that again in Game Two, but maybe the Pistons won't play like that in Game Two. Then maybe they play a little bit better. So we shall see, and we'll all see you guys in the next one.